Yeah, what's goody? What's goody? You guys miss me? I miss you guys. Um, let's just start with some music. Coronavirus, shit is real. Shit is real. We're gonna start with some music. You know the Mark Diamond Stew is coming out in a few days. We're going to talk about that a little later. We're going to start with the coronavirus. I'm going to tell you guys everything you need to know up to this point. I want you right now, make sure you go share this. We want to make sure as much people are informed. They know what's going on. They prepared because we got too many people not ready yet. You feel me? They is not ready. And we'll make sure they're ready. So I'm going to give you a few seconds, few minutes. You'll feel me. I'm going to play a track. Go get some people. Bring them in here. Make
This life is priceless, and I put that on the game. Running for everything, I pray for hope that never change. You want to be for me, but you don't know my name.
There we go.
I've been
back, baby.
Back. Our ambitions ain't the same. I was that guy, just like trap niggas.
They just free hell. Rugby fights everywhere. I know it with the brat niggas. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna give you guys a few more minutes. Go get some more people. Shit about to be so real. I'm gonna do some sharing and shit too. Want to make sure everybody is ready. Yeah. So coronavirus shit is real. All right, so if you are at home, that means one of two things. If you are one of those frontline workers and somehow you've managed to get off and come home and rest. Other than that, you've been laid off. Down, you are home. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm rolling up because it's real. And I want to make sure I'm in the right mood. Stores closed. All the stores closed. Liquor stores, barbershop, nail salons, movies, closed. You in Jersey is closed. And if you are in not just the tri-state, but the quadruple state, PA, Connecticut, NY, NJ, shit has got to get super, super real. And it's important that it does. It is very important that it does. We want to slow the spread, or at least that's what the CDC wants to do. Now, most of the information I'm going to give you tonight, you can find a lot of the information at the cdc.gov website. But most people aren't going to go to the website. Most people want to hear what people have to say. A lot of people maybe can't read, don't want to read. You know, want somebody to read the shit to them. I'm off that. So again, like I said, make sure you're sharing this. Make sure you share this to people who need the information, who don't have the time to gather all the information from all the different sites, and they need to know. So again, make sure you share this because in about 1 minute, I'm gonna give you guys the rundown. I'm hoping everybody out there is safe right now. If you haven't stocked up, I advise you to stock up on some stuff immediately. Okay. Funds will be getting low very soon. And people are looking for the government to pay them. People waiting on their job to pay them. There's a lot going on. A lot of people are worried, concerned, and anxiety is going to be rampant. But we're going to discuss a multitude of topics. And I'm also going to make sure I connect you guys and give you some information on people who you can go look up, and maybe they'll give you some encouraging words because, you know, especially when you're doing a lot of time at home, a lot of people may feel lonely. You know, they didn't stop the rent. Well, they stopped taking people's rents from what I hear. We got to see on the 1st, which is April Fool's Day, which is when all of this stuff is supposed to subside. I will discuss that and the validity of that in a few. But PSE&G, they've they've stopped and charging people. They're keeping the lights on. That's a blessing. That's a blessing for many people who are already at their wits' end, how they're going to pay it, what they're going to do, especially with jobs closed and whatnot. So what I would suggest is you relax, okay? Stay calm. If you don't have no weed, get you some weed. You probably need to roll up. You're probably going to need to smoke. You're probably going to have to find out how you're going to deal with anxiety. People around you are going to be anxious. Those kids running around that house, anxious, built up tension, stress, all of that. You can't get to your boo can't get there. It's curfew. So we're going to discuss first mostly everything that the CDC has to say. And again, you can go to cdc.gov. That's the Center for Disease Control and for the country. And you can go to their website and you'll be given the same information, some of the same information I'm giving you, but there's a little bit more. So first thing we will discuss is who to trust when you hear information. Now, the government right now, Donald Trump has given the responsibility for all the COVID-19 situation. Okay. Now, the reason I don't have coronavirus up there and I have COVID-19 because it's important that we talk in real terms and correct terms. Okay. Coronavirus is something that's been around for years now. Okay. They haven't had luck yet in getting the vaccines and whatnot, because again, when you're talking about diseases and you're talking about people funding these projects, it does take years usually to get stuff passed because there's so many clinical trials that you have to do. There's so much, not necessarily red tape, and I don't even like the term red tape, but there are guidelines that are put in place to protect people. Okay. Now, again, we are in strange times, and when you hear a lot about who to trust, again, there's one name that keeps coming up, and you guys have maybe seen him on all the television shows. That's Dr. Anthony Fauci. Okay, he is the leader of the National Institute of Health, and this guy has been trusted with delivering and disseminating information and also receiving it from different organizations across the world, and he's been giving it real. He's been giving it real. I'm giving it real. Okay, so Dr. Anthony Fauci, you can trust him. You can believe the things he's saying. Now, does he have any reason to mislead people? I don't believe so. I believe that this guy is honest and he wants what's best for the country. Now, I'm sure his pockets will be fat at the end of the day. I don't believe that he's going to mislead people because it really does him no good. It really does him no good, just like it does me no good to mislead you guys. So, first thing we're going to discuss are the symptoms. How can you tell if you may be coming down with COVID-19? Okay? Fever, hot. You're catching a fever, which means if you don't know if you have a fever, get a thermometer. Okay. I don't know if you need to use the butt thermometer or the one in your mouth, but I would imagine both should be sufficient when you're checking for a fever. So again, if your regular temperature is supposed to be, I think 98.7. I don't know if that's just a radio station, but that might be around what your regular temperature should be. So if you find your temperature above that for a long time, let's just say 2 days, and you're keeping it, I would call the doctor's office and just ask questions about maybe not just those symptoms, but maybe other symptoms. Cough, shortness of breath. Now, they say if you can't hold your breath for 10 seconds without coughing, that may be a respiratory infection, or you may have respiratory issues. So, those are a few things. Now, also, they say if you have preconceived, if you have previous health conditions, asthma, diabetes, if you're taking cancer treatment, that you could be one of these people who are at more risk. As well, if you are an adult over the age of 65, it says you are also at a higher risk for severe illness, which means when COVID-19 comes into your body, it's a more higher chance that it will affect you severely versus somebody who may be 30 with no health conditions and takes a lot of vitamins and works out a lot. Now that person may get sick as well, but their body has the capability of fighting the infection at a higher rate than somebody who smokes, drinks, has diabetes, and a small cold. That person may be at a higher risk, and these people are the ones who are at more risk and are usually the people who die. Now, they've also been talking about, it's not to be understated that people who are under 65, also can be sick and die from COVID-19. So don't feel like just because you're healthy, or maybe you haven't been to the doctor. I know a lot of people who don't even go to the doctor unless they're dying. And so you could have disease built up or bacteria built up that you haven't got checked out. So you really are not sure. I would imagine people with bronchitis. That's another respiratory issue that could cause severe illness if they come across somebody who is asymptomatic, which is a person who doesn't know that they have COVID-19, and they coughing, you're dancing, you're chilling, you're twerking or whatever, and you're coughing on people, you're coughing around people, you're smoking the blizzies, and you're coughing all on each other, and you don't even know. So please be smart and think about what am I doing, how I can affect other people, and how myself may be affected. Okay? So when you go to the CDC website, they also are discussing a few other topics, and I'll briefly just get over those. They want you to donate blood if you're well. Now, I'm not sure if there's a shortage. I know that there was a blood bank out here on Grove Street in like Northeast Orange area. That if I see this being more of a much needed situation, I'll definitely find out the information for you guys where you could go to donate blood. I know my brother knows a place, but I'll definitely get you guys that information. Also, okay, and this is for a lot of the parents. This is pretty much for everybody. They said that there's a food safety alert regarding multi-state outbreak of E. coli, okay? Now, again, that's a food safety alert regarding multi-state outbreak of E. coli, okay? That has to do with the food, okay? That will be on the food. Multi-state means many states. Now, I don't have all the information on that yet, but I will definitely get that information to you guys, because if stuff is going to be on our food, okay, E. coli, like you're already worried about COVID-19 in the air, the last thing you want to also have to worry about is E. coli on the food, okay? I mean, you talk about frantic, there's barely enough people to take care of COVID-19. So if there's an outbreak of E. coli, who's taking care of those people? Okay. We're also going to talk about some other things regarding how these processes will be rolled out as far as how they're going to be taking care of people, where they're going to be taking care of people. Okay. So the objective of this whole thing, what they're trying to do, right? Because coronavirus, COVID-19, Chinese virus, which I don't approve of that term because, it evokes disdain for people of Chinese background, and no need for those people to be victims. They're already being singled out, because this virus has been coming from China. So no reason for them to be attacked or anything like that. So I don't use the word China virus, but if you hear that, it's all the same thing. Okay, COVID-19 and coronavirus. Okay, so what they're trying to do, 15 days to slow the spread. Now, 15 days as of when? Not sure. Not sure what the starting date was for 15 days. I imagine if when this came out, I would imagine this was maybe, let's say Monday was 15 days. Let's say this came out Monday, right? Now, Monday, we're closing in on Friday. That means you have 10 days to slow the spread. Now, again, they can't stop it. Okay. They cannot stop this virus from coming and pretty much taking over and destroying this country, because people are going to be dying, and the people that die, who knows what they've been doing or how they've been. I mean, the health professionals, some of the major health professionals in all these other countries are dead. These people who have been working on topics like these, people who have been working on issues like this, have died from this disease. And a lot of these people were already healthy. So there's a chance that, depending on how strong or how frequent you are around the virus, you may die very quickly. Okay. So that's what they're saying. They've got 15 days to slow the spread. We're about 10 days left. Okay. And that's why you may see these extreme measures that are going on. Okay. These are extreme measures, but they must be done if we are going to save this country. Now, said a lot. We also said stuff is closed. I've got me some wine. Okay. Now, definitely, if you ain't got you none, I don't know what to tell you. You knew it was going to happen. You seen Raz Baraka saying stuff is going to close. I mean, you didn't have much time. And if you had to work, you're screwed. Hopefully somebody, your neighbor, hopefully your neighbor looked you out. So what we're going to do is talk about what we can do. Some things that we can do to protect ourselves and protect our families from this virus. The first thing they say is wash your hands often. Okay. They say about 20 seconds to wash your hands. Again, make sure you're cleaning under your nails. Make sure you're going all the way up here. I like to go all the way up here, and take your time. There's a virus out there. So no need to rush getting back out there. You'll be infected. Make sure you're cleaning doorknobs and whatnot too. Use sanitizer. They said it has to be 60% alcohol based. So if you want to fill up a bottle, 60% alcohol. 40% water, and maybe like a drop or two of maybe like some lemon juice or something to give it a nice smell. I would suggest doing that. It's encouraged. It's greatly encouraged, again, because a lot of sanitizer is out of the stores. It's not in the stores. There's nothing there. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and your mouth. Okay? Avoid eyes, nose, and mouth. Okay? Because again, the virus can stay on surfaces, okay, between 3 hours and I believe 24 hours, a day or so, depending on the material. Plastic, there's metal, there's glass. Okay, please be smart. Avoid sick people. Now, again, you may not know people are sick. You may not know if you're sick. Okay, so avoiding sick people is a little harder. Just the notion of that. You may have to be around your babies, and your babies will be sick. And who's going to take care of your babies if you're not around them? Right? These are real things. Your mom might be sick. And how are you not going to take care of your mom? And it says avoid sick people. So again, these are decisions we have to make, and these are real decisions we're going to have to live with. Now, if you figure you're young, you have a better chance. You're young, healthy. You have a better chance of fighting off the disease if you do get it. Then take care of your people. If you know that they can't get to the doctor, if you know that they've already been to the doctor and they said, well, we want you to wait. We got to wait 3 days, even after they're tested. and you have to self-quarantine, people can't take care of themselves. Not all people. 6 feet distance from folk. That's what they want you to take. They want you to take a 6 feet distance from folk. And I would suggest 10 feet. Okay? Now, again, the reason that these measures have been rolled out so slow, is because we as Americans, one, don't like to be told what to do. Two, don't be like told when to do it. Okay? And three, we barely like to listen to any fucking body tell us anything, let alone what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Okay? So they can't just tell you the real. Can't give you the real like they would want to give you the real. Okay? Why? Because most people are used to being fake and phony, and they don't want the real thing. They want, give it to me nice. Give me the good parts about it. What's the good news? They'll take the good news first. They don't really want to care about the bad news. Okay? So the good news is we can stop this for a small time. I mean, literally locking the shit down. Like, you can stop it from coming in if you lock the borders. If you close all the borders, all of the borders, nobody in, nobody out, locking down each individual state, right? And then you're going in and you're going after it just where it's at, wherever it pops back up. Again, you're not letting nobody out, nobody in. And everybody who does have it, you're quarantining them, right? We'd be done this by perceivably June, July, right? Perceivably. But no, you can't tell people nothing. They're going to still do what they want to do. Tomorrow, it's going to be 75 degrees in the city of Newark. It's going to be 75 degrees. Stores are closed, I believe, indefinitely, except supermarkets, gas stations, and pharmacies. Other than that, things are closed. People already have anxiety about that. People are already having withdrawal symptoms. Okay, there's lots of people who are dependent on alcohol. A lot of people who are dependent on doing things. They just don't want to feel trapped. They don't want to feel boggled down. So, what's happened? Oh, we're going to do 8 o'clock. Stuff is going to be open for a little while. Then it's going to close. We can't play this game. We can't afford to. We can't. Stay home if you're sick. If you know you're sick, stay home. If you don't know if you're sick, stay home. If you don't got to be outside, don't go outside. Don't interact with folk if you don't have to. It's not necessary. Again, you want to be around people. You can't help but be around people. You're having abandonment issues. No one's there. No one's been there. Nobody's calling you. Nobody's been calling. Nobody's checking on you. You're stir crazy, cabin fever. Stay home if you're sick. A few more things before I go deep. Again, all this information you can find at the cdc.gov website. Or you can always just tune in every night at 11:30 to 12:30. And I'll be here with information regarding not just the coronavirus, but other things that are going on in the world at the same time, because the world hasn't stopped. There's still things going on, irrespective to coronavirus. Cover coughs and sneezes. It sounds simple. It sounds like something everybody already does, but they don't. People will cough and sneeze, and this is something important for you to teach the kids how to do it properly. Okay? They say in the cuff of your arm. In the cuff of your arm. When y'all choking on them blunts, Yes, same thing. You know, no need to do that. You don't know. You could be asymptomatic. You could be this much of the disease could be in you. And this person doesn't know. And next thing you know, they're sick. And you did that. Why? Because you didn't take precautions. Cover your coughs and your sneezes. I mean, you could save a life. That plainly. You know, that plainly. Another important. You see, I touched my eye. Now, hopefully, I just washed my hands. So hopefully my hands are good. I mean, what do you do in those situations? Again, I've been disinfecting and cleaning. So I feel safe. I feel safe about it. But again, these are things, again, you don't even notice. You have to be cognizant of it. Did I touch that? Did I touch that? What did I touch? What didn't I touch? Who's been around? Okay? Because once they find out that you're positive, they're going to take your phone. This is what I believe. They're going to take your phone and they're going to try to find out where you were. Okay? I'm going to discuss that in a few minutes. Again, that's why I want you to share this information. Okay? I want you to share this because people do not know what's coming. Because you're so concerned with everything else that you can't keep track of all that's going on. And what did they tell you? Ignorance of the law or the rules is no defense. I didn't know. I didn't know there was a curfew. Oh, well, now you know. And if they found you again, who knows? Who knows? Again, tomorrow night we're going to have all that information. Because, again, it's going to be 75 degrees in Newark. Most of the stores are closed. Schools are closed. And people are being told to stay home. Who says it's not going to gather? They said they don't want gatherings of no more than 10 people. And you shouldn't even be around anybody except your family. Not many people travel from spot to spot to spot. You know, not many people are going to be moving from spot. Hold up, my connection seems a little shoddy. Give me a second.
The Bluetooth?
Oh. Yeah, we don't need the Bluetooth right now. Oh, yeah, the reason I have this hat on because I want you guys to be happy. Remember Nirvana? Remember that feeling? It'll come back. Don't worry. It's going to come back. Just like coronavirus is going to come back. COVID-19 is coming back too. Don't think once we're done this that's going to be it. So again, all that information, the symptoms, what they plan on doing, what to do, disinfect, cleaning, washing your hands, things like that. You can go to cdc.gov. And they want you to go there because that's where they're going to have the most updated information. And those guidelines are what the rest of the country's guidelines should be. So now that we've gotten to the informative part, now we're going to discuss some of the real fallout that's gonna happen behind this. We already have a lack of mental health workers in this country, and this anxiety that's gonna come from people not working, people who've worked all their lives, now they can't work. They've been told they cannot work. They have bills piling up. They're coming. The bills don't stop. They won't stop. I wish that they would. I wish that they could. Trump should do something about it. But the bills are not going to stop. They're going to keep coming. And people who always worked, who've always managed to take care of themselves, are going to be very, very stressed, very depressed. Anxiety is going to kick in. And I imagine if we don't get where we need to be in the next week or so, where the numbers are starting to slow down, because the way this is set up is they have charts, and they have charts about so the disease comes in, numbers go up, and then there's a big spike in numbers, and then it kind of comes down and tapers off, right? Now in those couple month span, it's supposed to, it could literally go from killing 1 to 2 to 3 people to killing 20,000, 30,000 people, maybe even more, and coming down, right? So what they plan on doing is having it longer, not as short. So imagine if it would have came in January, and by June, they had killed 20, 30,000 people, but it tapered off. It was done. Now, unless you took care of it and got all the resources acclimated, again, 20,000 people dead in the United States within a matter of months. That's a lot to deal with. That's a lot mentally, thinking everybody's just dying next to you. Everywhere you look, there's people dying. On the news, they're reading the names of the dead every day. More and more dead, hundreds and hundreds of more people dead. Thank God we've only got maybe 200 people dead so far, which means this tactic that they're using may be working. It may be blunting the force of this. But again, so you're talking about over a long time. So think about over a year, that maybe they're trying to keep it down to maybe only 2,000 people die throughout the whole year from this. Now, that's a better scenario. We don't want anybody dead, but we can't stop it. That scenario is a much better scenario than 20,000 people dead in 6 months. Now, there's a few issues that we're having. And one of the main issues is communication. We don't have all people, in government speaking from the same book. People are doing what they can because, again, people have each area presents a different difficulty. Even if it's just, okay, let's take Newark, for instance, right? Now, there's only so many police. There's only so many healthcare workers. There's only so many people who can fix things, because just because the virus is here doesn't mean stuff isn't still breaking down. It doesn't mean that stuff doesn't still need to be regulated, checked on. If you've been living in a dilapidated building and it's crumbling, coronavirus didn't stop it. COVID-19 didn't stop that. It's still crumbling. There's still mold in the walls. These are issues that have not been dealt with and are not going to be dealt with because of this disease running rampant. They're talking about, listen, it's rough. That's rough. They're talking about having some boats that are going to help people. And these boats are supposed to be so what they've been doing is having people with the disease come into the same door as people without the disease and people who don't know. So if you're just coming to the hospital, you're just going to come into the hospital. You're not going to come into a specific area of the hospital because you don't know that. You don't know that there's a special section of the hospital to come in if you think that you may have contracted this. So you may have infected everybody in the waiting room, the lobby, the people downstairs, everybody. Who knows? Again, it does take for you to cough on substances and things like that. But when you're talking about you're asymptomatic and you're shedding the virus, it could even be in your sweat. It could be coming out your pores. And again, you're talking about it's on surfaces for hours. And that's why you have to clean and disinfect every hour on an hour, I would suggest. That's what I would suggest, especially if you have people coming and going. Every hour on the hour, that space should be cleaned. Okay? Clean your places. Please clean up. This is perfect time to clean anyway. Spring cleaning, right? Clean the fucking house. Wipe everything the fuck down. Take everything, wipe that motherfucker down. And if you want to put that shit back, put the shit back. But clean the fucking surfaces. Everything. Everything. So they're going to have these big boats, and these big boats are supposedly supposed to take care of people who do not have the virus. So they're going to have the hospitals just fill up with people who have the virus. And you think, why do they already have it getting stuff prepared? Now they're talking about in a couple of weeks that this stuff is going to be prepared. One boat should be ready, and I think they're just going to have the boats on different coasts, like East Coast, West Coast. But then what about down bottom? What about Texas, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana? What about those folks? Why there's not a fucking boat down there? They said that there's a couple states that are not even really taking this to heart and as serious, and the rules aren't as stringent. Okay? Just like, for instance, the liquor store was closed supposedly all the way up and down everywhere else. But if you went to East Orange, if you went to Kearney, you could still find it open. We all have to be reading from the same book. We all have to take this shit serious. Because if we don't, it's only going to be longer that we're going to have to deal with these issues. Okay? Not only feeling like your human rights issues are being fucking abridged because they're telling you what to do, when to do it. They call it martial law. Okay? You got National Guards people here. Okay? How long do you want that shit to last? How long you want to be told what you can do and where you can do and how you can do it and when you have to leave and how many people can be around? Until you take this shit serious. Now, I was talking to my boy, one of my boys, and he recently, his job canceled on him, and it's fucking him up. People are really taking this serious. And for most people who are just being laid off, it hasn't even hit them yet. It hasn't even hit them yet. And for the people out there who think 2 weeks, things will be back open, things will be good. Maybe if their precautions are taken and what they think is right is right. But these are the same people who just said only people who are older are more at risk. But now they switched up the story because they're trying to have people take it more serious. Now they're saying younger people can catch it too. They're finding all these cases. Oh, there's people. Is that true? I don't know. Is it a scare tactic to try to make people take this shit serious? Could be. Is that foul? That is foul. Is it foul that motherfuckers don't want to take shit serious? That shit is foul too. Again, people have different learning abilities, disabilities, styles. Then a lot of people are just ignorant. A lot of people are okay with where they are. They figured they weren't going nowhere anywhere. They figured they were going to die here anywhere. They're not gonna try and stop this. They're not gonna make sure that everybody is taking this shit serious. They're not gonna hold people accountable. That's a lot of the issue. If you're not going to hold people accountable, stay the fuck from around me. If you're not going to make sure that you've washed your hands and that you are keeping the fucking surfaces clean and shit clean, stay the fuck from around me. Because it's clearly you're not taking this serious. But what happens when it attacks your grandmother? Now you want to be all sad. When it attacks your baby, now you want to be sad. When your job is closed, now you fucking sad. Oh, now it's woe as fuck is me. Oh, bitching and moaning. But if you're taking this shit fucking serious, the liquor store is closed, what am I going to do? You should have been taking this shit fucking serious. You should have been getting petitions like, we're going to take this shit serious. You should have been quarantining your fucking block. Nobody can come on this block. Nobody can come. It's got to get for you to take it as real. I don't know if it takes for you to be on your deathbed, because a lot of times that's what it takes. It takes for some people to be on their own fucking deathbed for them to be like, oh God, if I would have knew. Oh, or now the NBA is canceled. Now the NBA and football is slowed down, and you can't go to your concerts, can't go to the baby show, you can't go see Trey Songz and Drake, you can't go to the opera, none of that dumb shit. Can't do that now. It's affected you now, huh? Now shit real. Coronavirus, shit is real. You're in the way. You're in the way. Reason I'm on here? Because I want to make sure people are informed, that they know I'm not in the way. No. Shit about to get real. It's not even as real as it's about to get. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, you know what? I'm just going to travel somewhere else. I'm going to go somewhere else where I can do these things, where I can go be a thot and twerk. I can go to Miami, and those beaches still open. We can go down there. Right, that shit about to be shut down, or that shit is going to be motherfucking quarantine, or everybody's going to have that shit. And again, if they're saying the death rate is like 1%, and people are like, what the fuck is 1%? 1% ain't nothing. Again, remember that 1% has more wealth than 50% of the country. Right? Remember that? Remember that 1%? Right? Well, 1% is 1. 1% of 1,000 is 10. If my math serves me correct. So how many people live in this country? Let's just say 64 million, maybe a couple 100 million, maybe. That's a couple million people dead. Couple 100,000 people dead. And there's also this theory like, oh, it's not killing Black people. Oh, that's why you're not taking it serious. Because you figure it's not happening to you, or it's not happening to your constituents or your cohorts, so it doesn't matter. More of you in the way. Shit don't affect you personally, you're in the way if you think it doesn't. Like when that shit happened to Puerto Rico, felt a feeling about that. I've been to Puerto Rico. I remember the people there. I remember what it looked like. So to know that they're just flat, completely just gone. Again, this shit about to be really, really real. And because I know a lot of people who are in the way, and not everybody has good intentions. Not everybody has good intentions. So I need you guys to be on alert and aware, because there's going to be a lot of cruddiness going on next, because you have a lot of people who have and have not. There's a lot of people who still are working, making money. Those are going to be licks. Those are going to be victims, because people will be looking at you. They'll be paying attention to you. They'll be checking for your bag. They don't have a bag. They haven't been getting a bag. Money's stopped. Money's low. Funds are low. People will become destitute. They can't get the lick. Can't get their liquor. They can't feed their habits. You don't think shit real? You don't think the government is paying for it? You don't think that that's what these people are doing? They're thinking about, well, what's going to happen next? What's next? Oh, they're going to give out $1,000. Everybody waiting on this $1,000, huh? How long that $1,000 going to last you? I figure, if anything, it's a game. It's a game to see what you're going to do with the money, because they're already tracking you on your phone. And once you take this test, which everybody's going to have to take the test in some form or another, because everybody's going to want to know if they have it or don't they, if they're asymptomatic or not. And once people around you start dying, you're just going to be like, fuck it, I might as well take it. Put the shit back in my tongue. back of my throat, swab me, whatever, cheek me. Just giving away your rights. Frontline workers, thank you. But also, I ask the frontline workers to make sure that you protect yourself and make sure that you're treating everybody the same. They're talking about how some people were upset that NBA players and some of these people have access to the test. Trump is like, it's life. Some people who have the means have the resources. So what does that say? That says if you don't have money, you might not get the test. You might be on your own. You might be dead. So there's a two-sided coin to this. Do I take the test and maybe have it? You know, I mean, it's good to know. And if your immune system is good, you should be good. Couple of weeks quarantined, but you're lonely, pretty good. But if that's not the case, what are you gonna do? What if this lasts longer than July, August? What if this is until December? You know, what about that? Mental health, guys. Mental health. I don't seek therapy. Not right now, anyway. But there's one person I trust a lot of times. You may see me share his stuff, Joseph Williams, on Facebook. He's a mental health therapist. You know, I would suggest you guys start talking to somebody while you're going through this. Make sure that you're having a dialogue with somebody so that you don't feel alone. You don't feel like you're going through this alone, and you don't feel like you don't know what's going on. I mean, you can always come here to my page, and I'm going to be, like I said, maybe until this is over, I will be doing something every night. But I got to make sure you guys stay informed because that's my role here. I started it. I'm going to keep it going. And don't worry, I will save a few minutes to do some fun. Some fun. We have to smile and again, Nirvana is coming back soon. But again, I want you guys on fucking point, okay? Shit is about to get real. You can half believe the shit that they're telling you because Trump just was like, the shit is going to be gone. It's going to be out. Like, it's going to be gone. Now it's like July, August, right? I heard somewhere 18 months. Now, 18 months to me sounds real. Now, they're talking about that's when you're going to get the vaccine. But I'm thinking that's when the economy should be maybe back. We still have an election coming up. How does that pan out? You know, we're supposed to be changing things, and things have changed. They have changed. Food. Make sure that you have fresh food. If you haven't gone out and getting you vitamins and stuff, make sure that you have extra vitamins. Again, not just for you, but maybe there's a neighbor, you know, or maybe a neighbor's kid. You know, again, people will not have money. They will not have means. And no sense in having means and allowing other people to die or to look at you as an opportunity. Because if you got and I ain't got, and these kids is crying and he's screaming, and I don't know when that government check coming. I'm just saying, gotta keep it real. So as you'll see, I'm a little irritated that this letter is done. I can finish smoking my little blizzy. But fuck it. So, what else? With this corona. So in the midst of all of that, note, Iran or Iraq. So the missile killed some Americans. They blew off some shots, killed some Americans. So at the same time, coronavirus is going on all over the world. We're kind of at war at the same time. Because remember when Trump killed al-Baghdadi? Yeah, remember that? Those people are still angry. And coronavirus is not stopping anger. And if I'm not mistaken, they blasted these bombs off on al-Baghdadi's birthday, which was last week, I believe, or maybe a couple days ago. Yeah, so at the same time, we're fighting a never-ending another war. And that's where we're at. This E. coli outbreak, coronavirus, and we're at war. This is 2020, and it's March. Stock market in the tank. I've been checking out this stock, and it's tanked now. I'm just glad I didn't put money in it. It was doing pretty decent. I was thinking about that. There's no more people on the Wall Street floor. No, they're all going to be doing it pretty much from home now. Wall Street will be from home. They'll be trading from home now. Everybody has to be home. They're doing this again because you motherfuckers just can't deal with it. You just can't deal with it. You need to be prepared. You need to prep. I gotta get all of this. Gotta get my stuff ready. I can't just leave. No, the storm is coming. The flood is coming. Just leave everything and go. No. I gotta make sure this. But what if shit is over? Shit is over. Shit is so different now, and I want you guys to be prepared and informed, please. I'm not sure who's going to see this. I hope you're safe. I hope you've washed your hands. Hope you've kept your fingers and stuff away from your eyes, nose, and mouth. Now, again, this information on the CDC's website can be ever evolving. Tomorrow they can put something else up and says, pregnant women could be at an even higher risk. We don't know these things. So it's better to take the precautions. I don't know if this hoe is burning, so I'm going to strap up, period. I don't give a fuck if she's married and she's I don't know. I can't trust nothing. I'm strapping it down. That's how you have to have that same kind of energy. No, I don't know where you was at, ho. You were outside. This house is quarantined. You're out there. Spray them hoes down before they come in your shit. Make sure they wash their hands as soon as they come in the house. Clean up the fucking doorknobs. Be extra. Be fucking extra. Y'all extra any other motherfucking time. Be extra with this shit. Be extra fucking precautions. And stay the fuck from people who not taking this shit serious. Because these are the type of people who are in the fucking way. They're the reason we're fucking quarantined in the fucking house as it is. Because they don't want to take shit serious. They think this shit is a joke. They thought this shit was... Nah. Again, I can't blame them totally. Trump placated. He placated, tried to appease people. But again, that's with that fake shit. You don't want the real. Not necessary. Really? There's people who are taking it super serious, and I thank you. And again, to the frontline workers, I thank you. Listen. We haven't even gotten to the drugs. The drugs are going to be pushing and peddling for the people who are who maybe remain sick. Again, I'm not sure what this. I haven't spoken or seen enough people who've recovered. They're saying, okay, granted, over 100,000 people have died, give or take, right? And they're saying about a good 60, 70,000 people recovered. No, hold on. Excuse me. So over a couple 100,000 people have contracted it. About 6,000 to 7,000 people have recovered. About 5,000, 6,000 people have died. Those are about the numbers. Okay, so hundreds of thousands of people infected. About 67 to about 75,000 people have recovered, and about 4,000 people are dead. So that means there's still about a good couple 100,000 people who are asymptomatic, small symptoms, or mild illness. So that was that. So in our last minute segment, we're gonna have some fun. So, if you've ever watched my first show, I always bring on snacks. So, this store is closed. This is a Mrs. Fields cookie. It's a chocolate chip cookie. And, I'm not sure if I'll ever see Mrs. Fields again. That store may be closed indefinitely. If you have something if you bought something that probably is going to be closed, you don't even know if it's going to open. Enjoy it. Enjoy it now. Life is short. Oh, chocolate chip. This is chocolate chip. Chocolate chip. Let's see. Soft. Plum. Not as. Mrs. Fields. Where's she at? Yeah, this is good. So, try one of these. You can get your hands on one. And check on people, check on seniors and stuff. Check on everybody. Just start calling people. You in the house. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't doing shit. Work out some. Clean your fucking house. Clean up under shit that you was been supposed to clean that you ain't cleaned before. Yeah. I'll finish this off camera. But thank you guys. Thank you guys. Hopefully I was able to enlighten you guys on some things. Again, I'll be coming every night, 11:30 to 12:30. Broc knows best, baby. Thank you guys. And we'll leave out with some music.
I suggest you don't do it because I am that shit. Milk and gas prices high.
Yeah.
Trump war out of order, tell him bye. Shorty still looking for a guy. Ballers to spoiler, no wonder why. Gotta go animals, cause know I'm about to deal. I got a shorty on my case, know I got a bill. All of that be at.
Thank you guys.